All right, we are live for the 43rd annual podcast. I am joined for, I think, the second time by his ditchness, Mendich. How are you doing, brother? We're back on. Actually, before we start, I should mention that we're on Google Hangouts for the first time in a year because of internet problems I've been having over the last week or so. Hopefully, it's not a big deal.
Hopefully, it is not.
How are you doing, Ben? How are you doing?
I am doing quite well, Mr. Master Dio Gaming.
Mr. Master. Ooh, what's my first name?
Buddy Master Dio Gaming.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so overall impression before we start.
I've really enjoyed it. I thought everything except the Wyatt match was right and good.
Right and good, yes.
Like the right way to go, and everything was a good match except for the Divas title match, which was
really. You thought the Divas title match was worse than Battle of the Beef?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't paying much attention.
Exactly, that's the problem. We'll get into this later, but the problem is a lot of people are paying very close attention to that match, whereas I don't think. Anyway,
I was tweeting.
I titled the show Peaks and Valleys, and I think that's probably what my overall impression of the show was, is that there were some really high moments. There were some really high moments on the show. And once we get to the main event, I'm sure I'll talk about how much I like that. But there were also some really low moments on this show. So I thought it was a Peaks and Valleys show. I thought there was a lot of shit on there. It's one, like, tonight kind of convinced me that this, like, after Mania, I think I just need to take some time off of
maybe not even watch Mania. Just cancel the network after Takeover Dallas.
Well, I think I would have paid for April by then, wouldn't I?
Yeah, but it's still it'll probably show that you cancel before Mania, and it's like we don't want Mania.
But if I cancel before Mania, though, I'll still be able to watch Mania. Like, you still get the month you pay for, so it's like anyway. But we'll open this show. I don't even fucking remember. It was a long time ago.
It was if we're talking pre-show,
no, we're not talking pre-show.
Oh, what opened the show? I think it was the Divas tag. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was good. This was probably my second favorite match on the card. Like, it was a really good match. I said on Twitter, I think it might be one of the best ring work rate, one of the best women's matches we've seen on the main roster in years. Like, it was just, like, there's a lot of slick stuff on there. Tamina was pulling off big banter Baron style bases for high flying Sasha Banks. It was like, it looked like a shittier version of the semifinals of the Dusty Rhodes Classic with Banter Baron, Rhino, and them boys. Them American Alpha boys. So, yeah, I thought this was a really good match for what it was. It surprised me, as did quite a lot of the early stuff on this card. It's all right. You know, it was what it was. We're never going to talk about the match again. But it's like...
It was all right. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing either. It was like you said, we're never going to talk about it again.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully. Hopefully we'll never talk about it again.
I mean, the commentary table will talk about it for weeks.
Yeah,
Did you see how Sasha and Becky worked as a team to beat Naomi and Tamina?
Yeah, but who watches Raw? Come on now.
I watch Raw.
Ooh. Anyway, so yeah, that's what it was. I don't think we'll do great tonight because I'm not really in the mindset to. It was pretty distracted tonight. What was the next? What's the next on this card? What's the next match on this card?
The next match was Dean Ambrose. No, it was Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens.
This was like these guys tried their very best, but this was so stale.
It was a solid match. It was as good as the others, but as
possibly better.
Possibly, but it was out. It was done like 3 straight weeks on Raw, and then again this week.
Repetition penalty, man.
Yeah.
It's that. Yeah, it's like it was really stale for me. I thought both guys did really good stuff, as they tend to be, but it's just like it's not something I care to watch anymore.
I mean, Kevin Owens talking during the match and just trash talking Dolph is the highlight of the match, really.
Yeah, but he could do that against a blow-up doll.
Although he couldn't exactly say, your hometown.
What if the blow-up doll was made in Cleveland?
Then I guess it could.
Exactly. Kevin Owens' in-ring banter is great, which is why we need Styles Owens at Mania.
Exactly. I retweeted a little video of them at an indie show where they were doing it. This is awesome chant for a headlock, and AJ was clapping around, and then Kevin was just like, "Stop it!"
Yeah, and at one point I think Steen used AJ's hand to tap out. I was like, "Tap, you son of a bitch!" No, they're really good at that, and they're both really good at that. So it'd be
Much
good
like
to see.
AJ at WrestleMania 30, was it? Maybe 29? Yeah, 30. The big Vicky Guerrero invitational thing. Whatever.
Yeah, that'd be 30.
The cool down after Taker Lesnar.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. This match was, it was one of the low points on the card. It just, it was just really stale. I couldn't care less for the couple of minutes that it was on for.
I completely agree.
Was the next match Battle of the Beef?
I think it was. Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense. Battle of the Beef.
I looked the next 7 feuds for Roman Reigns once he wins the title. Big Show, Kane, Ryback, Strowman, Harper, Rowan, and Wyatt.
I very much hate this match because of the outcome.
I mean, I don't care. It doesn't make the Wyatts look any worse. They're at rock bottom. There's no going up from here.
Yeah, but they need that momentum to keep it going if they want to. But here's something
you don't understand is once you're in the quagmire of the WWE, there's no coming back up. Nobody's going to ascend. Nobody has ever gotten like as low as these guys have, then become a star. Like nobody has. If you're going to become a star, you get positioned that way in your first 6 months. Roman Reigns has never lost a match clean. Like never.
I definitely like what you tweeted out about them, that Lesnar should just squash Bray at Mania. They leave, repackage. Because he's a good talent.
Yeah. I mean, he is in a way, and then isn't in another way. Like a lot of he needs to be booked correctly, which is something that WWE just can't do with anyone.
Roman, but
no, they haven't even booked him properly. He's getting booed. Yeah. As the biggest babyface in the company.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. But as the
as the guy who's main eventing WrestleMania for the 2nd year in a row, he is the biggest babyface in the company.
Oh yeah, okay. They're trying to position him that way, and he's getting booed mercilessly.
Like, you don't think that they're gonna have Triple H win at Mania, do you? Because this is similar to what happened at Royal Rumble last year. He got booed when he won.
Yeah, but there's no like Jack in a Box, Money in the Bank briefcase to bail them out this time. I don't see Triple H going over. I don't see where you go from there, unless you have Tucker's Reign of Terror 2.0.
Yeah.
Just who cares? Who cares?
I mean, at this point, you have to put Roman over because there's nothing for Trips to do as WWE champion right now. Like,
think about it.
All he is there for WWE champion is to put Roman over.
There's nothing for Vince to do either, though. There's nothing Vince. Vince is the new champion.
There's nothing for Roman to do either because he's done it all before he had the championship.
Are you moving closer and further away from your mic?
I am not.
All right, check your levels to make sure they're not going up and down because you keep getting louder and quieter.
Google Hangouts does not have this type of feature.
No, it's in your recording devices on Windows. You can check your volume.
Where would I do that?
Okay, you see the little speaker down the bottom right.
I see the little speaker.
Right click on recording devices. Find the thing you're speaking into, click on properties, go over to levels, make sure it's consistent.
Properties. Levels.
Right, make sure that's not going up and down.
It is not going up and down.
Okay, just keep an eye on it. Don't get your eyes away from that. Okay.
I will not take my eyes away from that.
Okay, good, because you're sounding fine now. All right, so yeah, no, there's nothing for Roman to do either because
he's done everything before he won the title.
Unless you turn heel.
Yeah.
Then
wait, it's going up and down.
There you go.
Understand it.
Just hold it still. Get her steady.
Holding still.
So WWE dies by 2017. No, that's still not gonna happen. I mean, they're going down though.
I don't see WWE dying at any point.
Nobody saw WCW dying.
Yeah. Until it did.
But what was I? Oh yeah, yeah. Roman. The problem is that even if you turn Roman heel, who's got Like, who's the babyface? Because
Dean?
Styles is barely even like they've took a good step tonight, but he's still kind of just a guy, probably going to be feuding for the IC title.
It's got to be Dean, right?
Yeah, but then Dean lost clean to Seth like 4 times, who lost clean to Cena like 4 times, lost clean tonight.
Yeah, but that would definitely be the next feud if Roman turns heel because Dean's like his brother.
Yeah, but Dean was just feuding like they haven't positioned him to be a compelling draw, which is why he didn't draw last year when they put him on the house shows, and he was the lowest draw on the entire house show circuit. Like, it's just there's literally no options. Like, in some ways, it's absolutely their own fault. But if you took the WWE over like right now, you would not be able to do any better. If you took over a year ago, yes, you'd be able to fix all of this shit. But the position they're in now, they've just got no choice anymore. It's their own fault, but they haven't got a choice anymore.
Yeah.
It's just the thing. Like, if they brought AJ Styles in and he just destroyed mid-carders for months, beats Jericho in their only match, one match at Mania, and then destroys mid-carders for a little longer, then you do Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, sure, that works. Then you have Styles win, 2 stars. Great. But, like, that they've already... Yeah, 2 stars. No, not 2-star match. Roman Reigns and AJ Styles, 2 stars. 2-star people.
I thought you were talking match one. I was like, whoa.
He's the only one who consistently gets a good reaction. Yeah, but they've screwed him. I would agree with you, but they've screwed him so badly. He doesn't draw a dime at all. And I'm sounding like Jim Cornette here, but the man he's fucked. He's fucked. He was a mid-carder for 2 years straight after his turn. He lost clean to Seth in the feud. Then lost clean to Seth in a second feud. He got beaten by a TV monitor in December of 2014. and then he feuded for the IC belt for a while, which was fine, but still, there's so many problems with pushing anyone right now that I don't even I sympathize a little. As long as fans cheer, people will play. No, that's exactly the wrong. That's just wrong. Look at how D-Bry was presented. People were hot for him all throughout summer of 2013, all till Mania 2014. When did he draw? After he started winning matches. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Tucker, you say these things, but you just don't. You don't have the numbers to back it up. Anyway. Because nothing matters in WWE till it matters. That's a problem. You say this, but people keep saying, "Oh, it's fine. This has happened before. This happened before." Yeah, and guess what? WWE has been on a downward trend, with the exception of 2009 and 2011 in numbers, for the last 14 years. There has not been an uptrend since freaking 2002.
Yeah,
that hasn't lasted longer than 3 or 4 months, because there was an uptrend in 2006, there's an uptrend in 2014, there's an uptrend in 2007, but all of these things were quick, one-stop,
when
fixes.
2014 would be when Daniel Bryan, early in the year, right?
Yeah, but as soon as he was injured, the ratings died again.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, no one's draw anymore, and it is WWE's own fault. You're absolutely right. And I didn't want to I wanted to talk about the show, but we've launched straight into my problems with this product. But it's absolutely one of the biggest problems with WWE right now is that if you had said these kind of things 5 years ago, you say, well, there's nobody else around. Really?
And this all started when we talked about Battle of the Beef.
Yeah, because it gets me thinking about it. Because I legitimately believe he's going to feud with Kane as soon as he wins the title. I legitimately believe that's what they're going to do for Payback or something, or Extreme Rules.
Oh god, my levels are crazy. I don't know how to contain them.
Well, just only talk when they're down.
Only talk when they're down. They're down now. Oh god,
yeah, if we said 300, if we said 300, if we had said 6 years ago, 5 years ago, all of these things, it's well, there's nowhere else to go, and that's true. But now, there's so many other options, so many other accessible options. That why are we still watching this? I'm not watching Raw anymore. I might never again. This is why are we still watching this product when there are much better products out there that have proven to be able to make money and that can do it. It's the same reason why I wonder why people watch the shitty other Sports End products. You might be a fan of Sports End, but then why don't you just watch Lucha Underground or other Lucha? There's just so much better shit out there than this product now.
I watch it because there's no wrestling from 8 to 11 on Monday.
But then just do something else. You do other stuff for the rest of the week to be productive. Go and do some work. Set up a lemonade stand. Start a business. You've got 3 hours extra a week. That's a long time. Over a year, that's like...
I'm looking to find a job. Oh my God, why do you keep changing levels?
That's 156 hours a year you'd save.
Yeah.
That's a long time. That's a lot of time. That's 5 days-ish? I'm bad at numbers. No, it's probably a lot more than that. It's like 6-7 days. It's like, it's just... And Tucker, you're right. You should push people that are getting a reaction, but that's like... You should push people that are getting a reaction early. Not 2 years in when they've proven that, yes, they're getting a reaction, but the general public don't give a shit. Like they don't.
Yeah.
People are cheering for Dean Ambrose in that match because he's the one they want to win out of those three. If you asked them who they wanted to be WWE champion at the start of the night, it wouldn't be Dean Ambrose.
Like Putty's right. Like, you push people when they come in, or you just shouldn't push them at all.
I disagree with that, but I agree but that's how the WWE works.
Like when you get a star like AJ Styles, you bring him in, you push him when he begins, when he comes in, because
especially with someone as old as he is.
Yeah.
As proven as
but like right now, for example, Tyler Breeze, he's ruined
on the main roster.
Yeah, like he's just he's
never going to main event at WrestleMania.
No,
you can quote me on that, and you can use it as evidence in the future if he ever does. But he's not. He's just not. It's a problem that goes back in time as far as the early 1990s when Shawn Michaels wasn't a draw because they fucked him up, and Diesel was. Like there are so many, and like you said, they should push them at the start or push them out at all in a card structure that made sense, where you had mid-carders, jobbers, upper mid-carders, main eventers, and then your part-timers. That's fine. But in WWE, there are 3 main eventers, and then there's everybody else.
Well, I'm not saying you bring in everyone who's coming in and push them to the main event immediately. I mean,
well, that's what you've got to do in WWE right now. Because they don't have a card structure.
Yeah,
you need
because
more than 3 people.
But if they did have a card, you could push them like Daniel Bryan, where they start off in the mid card, they get wins. They come in a few months in, and they win the U.S. title. That's good. Then they drop it to Sheamus or whoever, and then you go in, and then they win the Money in the Bank. They become World Heavyweight Champion. They lose to Sheamus in 28 seconds, or however long it was, and then they get over somehow. Magically, they get over.
Well, no, the thing, like Daniel Bryan is not a model with which to push someone. Daniel Bryan got over because they failed. Like that's how that worked.
Yeah.
Matsudairo in TEW, how will you book WrestleMania 32? Right now, you can't. You can't do anything other than Reigns Triple H or Ambrose Triple H. Like you just can't. There's nothing else you could have done after Rumble. There's nothing else you could have done fucking after TLC. Because Sheamus has just held your world fucking title.
Well, you could have done Lesnar versus Triple H, but everyone knew that wasn't going to happen, and we've seen it before. We don't need to see it again.
Not only have we seen it before, it wasn't good. That's not a better alternative to the other 2 options.
It's not.
Reigns, Brock Lesnar is a much better match than that.
Yeah, definitely.
Brock Lesnar needs some protection, and Triple H needs a shit ton of protection. A lot of protection. He buys a lot of condoms, guys. Push Shinsuke to the top. Yeah, you got to push somebody. Push somebody that the fans haven't seen job out for 2 years. That's why AJ Styles needed to be pushed, because the fans haven't seen him job for 2 years. They haven't seen him for 2 years. He's been in Japan for 2 years.
and in there he was protected. Everywhere he went in Japan, he was protected. But
AJ Styles won the world title in his first match in Japan.
And I saw a tweet. They protected the Styles Clash finish for 2 years in New Japan. Within a month, Jericho already kicked out of the Styles Clash.
Yeah, and people, like, the argument on Twitter was, people kick out of moves in the WWE all the time. And it's like, guys, that's the point. It's not just a problem with Styles. And that's the thing with everyone. When I talk about Styles being pushed, it's not just a problem with Styles. It's a problem with everyone.
Yeah, and they didn't kick out of John Cena's finishing move in a month. They didn't kick out of Triple H. They didn't kick out of
Roman Reigns.
Punk. They didn't kick out of Roman Reigns. They still don't kick out of Roman Reigns' finisher. Only Brock Lesnar does that.
Yeah.
Brock does that. That's because Brock is a beast, and it makes sense for him to kick out.
Even Daniel Bryan got a new finisher in the summer of 2013. Only one person ever kicked out of that.
Yeah.
That was Roman Reigns.
Well,
because obviously at Fastlane, by the way. Because obviously that's the show to do that.
Hey, Samoans have strong heads. They can take knees to the faces.
It's true. It's the knee that beat John Cena.
But it's not the knee that beat Brock Lesnar.
I like to think in the future that Roman Reigns will only be beaten by like targeting the legs, like any head move or any back move, because he obviously no-sold some chair shots to the back tonight. Like any like move towards the upper body is like, nah, but I could take it. Brock Lesnar does the F5 the normal way. He's like, I could take it, and then he does it like feet first, and he's like, my leg, it's broken.
Hey, there's the way AJ Styles wins the title, calf crusher.
Yeah, calf crusher. There you go.
Or Charlotte was the figure 8 because
I hate the figure 8 name. Can I just get it out there? I don't understand what makes it a figure 8. It's still a 4. It doesn't turn into an 8 just because she arches. Okay.
Because it's twice as good as his daddy's, Maggle.
So I give Battle of the Beef 4 out of 5 stars. That's.
I thought we weren't grading matches.
I know. I was just kidding because that was all of our Battle of the Beef analysis.
We talked about the stars of WWE. Yeah.
What's the next match?
God, I don't even know.
Was it the Divas title match?
I think it was. It was a Divas title match.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to talk about something. So a lot of people had a lot of problems with this match. I just need to set this in a little bit of perspective. I think we critically analyze the Divas title matches on these cards a lot more than we analyze mid-card matches or even mid-card title matches. And I think that's what people are getting up in arms about. But honestly, if you consider it to be a mid-card title, it made the show and the US title didn't. At the end of the day, that happened. And I think we've now gotten to the point where we do have equality. All of the women are booked like male mid-carders. Which is fine, because all of the women
they don't need to be booked as male main eventers.
Of course, there are 3 or 4 talents in the company who could be and should be, but the one that's going to make the big difference isn't there yet, and she will be soon. So let's not ruin the division.
Although knowing that means she's not going to be in NXT anymore.
That is also very sad, but I believe out of everyone we've seen in the women's division, she's the one. She sells so much merch. Vince can't help but push her.
Exactly. Like, you just can't.
So yeah, all I ask is that they do not ruin the division by the time April 4th comes around, and they've kept the belt on the lesser of the 2 evils. So I'm still hoping for a singles match at Mania, but I'm probably not going to get it. But oh well.
I mean, I'd be happy with a Fatal 4-Way.
Fatal 4-Way, God no. That would actually be horrible. I would be happy with the triple threat. I would want the singles match.
Wait, you wouldn't want Bayley to come up and win the title?
I thought you were on about Brie.
Oh no.
I actually wouldn't want Bayley because again, I don't want the Fatal 4-Way. I want her to debut the night after and start her push to win the Royal Rumble and challenge for the women's title in the main event of next year's Mania.
Oh God, she's winning the Royal Rumble now.
Winning the Royal Rumble and using her title shot for the Divas title.
Multi-gender Royal. I guess it never has been close to genders.
No, I mean we've had a lot. Bayley just comes in at number 30. Roman's the only one left in the ring. Bayley carries Roman to a 5-star match and then just throws him out. And the wacky inflatable 2-man strangle Roman. The
2 men.
Okay, well, anyway, this title match was no worse than any other mid-card match. And, it's a solid little affair. It was fine. It was fucking Brie Bella and Charlotte. I know we expect better, matchups.
I do have one thing to say about this. I like that at some point during the match, Brie injured her knee, and that's why she kind of tapped out, because her knee was already hurt. I don't like, back when Nikki Bella was facing Charlotte, there was no offense to the leg at all, or no selling of the leg until the figure 8. And all of a sudden, boom, tap out. Like, no.
No, that's not true. At least at the Night of Champions match, the psychology for the leg was great. Maybe not on any other matches that they had, but the Night of Champions match.
The Hell in a Cell match was bad.
Yeah, I remember that one being bad. But Night of Champions, where she won the title, I think it was fine.
I don't think it was ever fine.
All right, fine. Go rewatch the Night of Champions match tonight.
I shall.
Bayley, Tucker just said Bayley's the most over person in the WWE. I mean, by some metrics, she actually is. But by others, like, obviously not. Like, I think it's still worth saying that in terms of individuals, it's still Cena in almost every metric. But anyway, that was interesting. I analyzed the numbers a couple of weeks ago, and that was interesting to come out with that Cena still does better, even though he had for his standards, a really quiet year last year. In terms of storylines, in terms of matches, he was fucking best year of his career.
Okay, are we going to talk about the New Day angle? Or
I mean, you can if you want. I don't actually have any problems with it. I just thought it was fun. I thought it was better. I thought they had some. This is how you do goofy in sports.
Yeah, I liked it. It was good. And then to the semi-man of the evening.
Okay.
R-Truth versus Curtis Axel.
We missed out a Chris Jericho AJ Styles match.
Oh yeah. Okay, so after the Divas match, Chris Jericho versus AJ Styles, where at some point Chris Jericho.
I have never seen a man go from fine, he's still got it, to this man is ready for retirement in a shorter amount of time. SmackDown 3 weeks ago, he was fine, like solid 4+ star match. In this, he did not know what he was doing at all. Like, he looked so awkward, and I don't think it was an awful match, but Jericho was off it tonight. I wonder whether RVD had a word beforehand, but like Jericho was not on it tonight.
I have two things to say. Well, two things to say. Three things, actually.
Okay.
One, Jericho dropping Styles on his head like the Kadawa driver or whatever it was. I don't know. Some weird move that had the guy botched a powerbomb and dropped the man directly on his head. Almost killed him.
I mean, who are we to say it was a botch?
yeah. And then you have the kick out of the Styles clutch, which I hate because it makes that move seem like nothing already. And then I did like how Jericho sold the whole calf crusher and like wanting and like almost tapping out but not wanting to, and then finally tapping out. I do like that.
Replace the Styles Clash with a powerbomb, and it's a fantastic finish. Like, that's literally it. That's all you need to do. Like, I think they really should have finished it with this calf cutter. I agree that they shouldn't have had Jericho kick out the Styles Clash.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like a lot of I think it's either Paul Heyman or JR that said that a DDT protected over 12 months.
It was Paul Heyman.
Yeah,
in the interview with Steve Austin on the network.
Yeah, it was like you can protect the DDT and make it the most over move in the company.
You can.
It's completely true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Look at Mark Henry's bear hug or Great Khali's head squeeze from 07.
Yeah, he actually made that analogy of a headlock with making it the most over move in the company if you protect it
properly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
like if you make it so like, oh, he's got this headlock and he can't get out. He's just squeezing the head and it's gonna burst.
For a more extreme like analogy, look at Taker's Hell's Gate from the late 2000s. Like they built that. Like they built that a lot. They did it first. They did the protecting
so that it draws blood.
Well, yeah. First they did the protection on it. Then they did the blood. Then they did the banning of the move. I can see you guys. I will read some comments if I see ones that we can talk about. I just see a lot of Roman Reigns hate. Okay, and while I agree, I appreciate that you guys I agree with you that the push over the last 2 years has been a mistake and has been badly done. But at this night, if I had the book tonight, I would have put him over because Triple H versus Roman Reigns is a better match than Triple H Dean Ambrose. I'm sorry, it is. Okay, I'm sorry. I wish that we didn't have to have this match. I wish we could do Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles, but we can't because Triple H has the belt. Like, if we could go back 2 months, we would fix it. But if I had the book tonight, the only thing I could do is put Reigns over. There's no fucking way you're putting Lesnar over tonight.
There is no way you put Lesnar over.
There's no good sense in that at all.
I mean, granted, they didn't make good sense by having the Wyatts interfere to take Lesnar out, which I would have done.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it at the Rumble, then they did nothing over this past
if they're
month.
Let's say they're not booking the Mania match because we've had no indication that they are. Like the actual.
You had no indication that they interfered going into the Rumble, and then they took Lesnar out of the Rumble like that,
and then we haven't seen anything since.
So, that's just like, if you're going to do it, actually do it.
I hear, like, one thing I heard around the place at Rumble was that somebody else booked the match, and considering we had an Owen Styles feud, an Owen Zayn feud, and a Brock Lesnar Wyatt feud, none of which have been continued at all after the match. It's not an awful theory, like if you think about it. The problem is with any Lesnar going over is you have to do Brock Lesnar Triple H at Mania as your main event.
Yeah.
For me, that's too much of a sacrifice to pay. I just... Who's Taker going to fight at Mania? Carl Anderson. Legit. That's my guess. I'm not changing it now.
Carl Anderson.
Carl Anderson.
That's what's
Taker
happening.
and Carl are decent friends, like legit. And Carl's going to take that booking, son. Carl's ready, brother.
Yeah, Carl's ready, brother. Hashtag.
I legitimately think Carl is the third most likely choice. And when the second most likely choice is Batista, you've got a problem.
You seriously think Carl Anderson's going to face Taker at Mania?
No, I think John Cena will. But Carl Anderson is the third most likely choice for me. Yeah, I genuinely believe Carl Anderson is third. I think it goes Cena, Batista, Carl. Then he's not getting booked. Like Taker just doesn't wrestle if it's not one of those three for me. Like I just don't see it. Maybe Ambrose. Maybe.
Actually, Taker versus Ambrose.
It does nothing for either man.
It doesn't, but it doesn't sound bad.
I mean, as a match, it does, at least to me.
I kind of like it. I mean,
Ambrose is nowhere near like good enough to protect him, is he? What do you think about that?
No, Super K-Man Knox. His shoulder is not bad at all. Here's the thing. If Cena wants to be ready for Mania, Cena will be ready for Mania.
This is true. I mean, he'd want to, in 08, that was ridiculous. Wasn't it like No Mercy in October? He was supposed to be out for like 8 months, came back for Rumble 2 months later. Or 3 months later.
It was insane.
The man is not human.
He is not. He should be billed as a beast incarnate.
I mean, he is on occasion.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, yes, Jericho was really off it tonight. It wasn't a dreadful match at all. It was really fun. Third best match on the card for me. And the calf cutter, I think, is important. Maybe they'll protect that. Hey, if the Styles Clash gets thrown out the window, but they protect the calf cutter for like 3 years, fine with me. Like if they actually do that, my worry is that like someone's just going to get out of it tomorrow.
Although not protecting the Styles Clash could just be a way of them taking the Styles Clash out of his moveset.
I heard that too, yeah.
Although I don't want that to happen. Dean didn't get booked. Dean didn't get booked awfully. He looked strong, and with the chair shots at the end, it just Roman no-sold the chair shot to end it. And
also, Roman Reigns won the match, which means Dean Ambrose is like looks better than Seth Rollins. I know this is a weird analogy. It's like stick with me here. 2 years ago, John Cena and Seth Rollins were not enough to beat Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose are. That's something you can think.
That is very true. And here's the thing: what does Dean do for Mania? Unless you do the IC title 6
Jericho
match.
Like they've been feuding since September.
I mean that works, but after this Jericho match at Fastlane, do you really want to see that?
Yes, because it's Dean Ambrose. Like he's not going to have a 5-star match with anyone.
I mean, he could probably be carried, given the right
not
worker.
To a not to an amazing match. He could be carried to something watchable, and he is usually on most nights because WWE has a good roster. I don't know. Maybe he ends up in a ladder match for the US title.
Maybe again, and then almost breaks his neck from a powerbomb through a ladder again.
Put Luke Harper and Dean in the match and do the exact same spot. Just fuck it. they popped for it last year.
Yeah, it almost killed Dean, or it looked like it did.
Didn't Vince and Shane beat God? Yes, but in my WWE goes Joshi save. God won the world title to go 1-1 in WWE.
And then eventually lost it to Asuka.
God.
Oh, wait, God lost it to God.
Yeah, God lost it to the real God.
Oh, so God's 2-1.
God is 1-2.
But the real God
is 1-0.
All right.
I don't think we need to say too much about Styles, Jericho. I hope this is the end of the feud. I would actually be very happy if Jericho announced his retirement tomorrow, but that's not going to happen because the man is addicted to this thing and really loves doing it. So there's that.
And much respect to him for doing that, for loving.
And he's also got a really good body, stays in really good shape, and is not going to die tomorrow if he wrestles. So that's fine for me as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But don't, for the love of God, stop acting like a win over him matters, though, WWE. Like, it doesn't. It honestly hurts. Everyone who's beaten him over the last couple of years has gone down afterwards.
Like, Fandango was the last time where I felt like it worked.
But and then beat him a month later.
yeah, and then they just ruined that. Like, Fandango could have done something with the Jericho win, but then he lost Jericho a month later, and that was just like, no. Unless you build Jericho to a legitimate threat and have him win the IC title, or something like that, then a win over him means nothing.
So I refuse to talk about the social outcast.
Okay, I do. It was your semi-main event of a fast lane because you had no time, because you didn't have enough time booked already. It's like,
I mean, like they didn't even like go the full 3 hours. It was like 2:45 or something.
Yeah.
Really short show considering, and it felt like a very long show.
Yep. All right. Roman versus Dean versus Brock. 10 suplexes.
This was one of the best 3-ways of all time.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. The double, like, Brock still comes out of that looking like a beast.
Yeah. I mean, I would put it like, here's the thing. So I don't like triple threats or multi-man matches in general. I think they're really bad in general, but one of the things you've got to do is tell a really good story with them, like they did in 2005 with the Michaels Triple H feud, and the Benoit feud with Triple H. All of the stories fit a triple threat. In 2015, they did a triple threat where the in-ring story was perfect. It was all about the fact that one man cannot beat this man. So now they've got 2. They might be able to do it. It was a really interesting concept.
And they couldn't.
Which was a cool concept of that.
But in 2016, they can.
In 2016, they did, which I didn't like to some degree. I'm fine with the like finish, but I would have liked it if Brock took more offense before he went down for the first time. Pretty sure Brock went off his feet at the first offense he took in the match. So it was like
I think that might have been a spear though. So
it was a Superman punch.
It was?
Yes, Tucker. I don't care if you're here. Leave. You're annoying me in the chat.
I'm removing his messages.
No, don't do that. Just leave him. It's fine. But this was a good story. I think I wish Brock could taken a little more offense because I feel like he took less offense than last year, which is a thing.
Yeah. But although the 2 double power bombs to a table, and then the
Can I say, if they're going to do the double powerbomb, Dean needs to look like he's actually doing something. Because right now he just looks like he's got a hand on him. Like, you can push him if you want.
Yeah.
At least.
I mean,
no, Tucker. No, you weren't. You said you wouldn't come on the air. I just wanted you to come in to test like the technical stuff.
What I would love is if it wasn't a triple threat and they did Roman versus Dean again or something or whatever to get the number 1 contender, and then they did this match later on in the year. They still couldn't beat him, and then next year they have all 3 of the Shield, and that's what beats them.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Yeah, but like in terms of triple threats, I like legitimately, it's not as good as Unbreakable. It's not as good as Unbreakable. It's not as good as last year's. But it might be better than WrestleMania 20.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was really good. Like, it was real fucking good. One of the best WWE matches since last year's triple threat. They just told a really good story with it, and that's fantastic.
They did.
And again, I don't think there was any winner that could have satisfied me. So the fact that Roman goes over, it's not a big deal. I would have. Yeah. I kind of preferred Dean because you make a baby face with Dean, whereas with Roman, he's going to get booed out of the.
Yeah. The only problem
is it a building on April 3rd, or have they got like a dome again?
It's a dome.
Okay, is it outdoor or indoor?
It is. It can be out. They have a retractable roof, but it's indoors.
Okay.
I'm removing that comment. But the thing is, like, if they had Dean win this, it feels like they're just doing this because Dean's getting a reaction, and it doesn't tell the story like it was built to tell the story.
I mean, yeah, that's one thing, is that the Triple H Roman Reigns story has been building for, like, I don't know, maybe even a year now, and it's a decent story, but like I said on Twitter, the fact they're not going to be able to like finish it properly.
No.
So, I just don't think there's any result here that makes most people satisfied, which is the problem. Like, it's not that like I'm not sympathetic. I'm like, oh, poor WWE, you couldn't have. No, it's your own fault that you had no option.
You booked it like this.
You booked it like this for 2 years, arguably 10 years. You know, there's so many problems with it. The main event was fire, though. I would recommend anyone takes it out. I think it's 4 stars minimum. It's going to be like one of the match of the year candidates for me. I thought it was excellent. But aside from that, the show was, like I said, peaks and valleys, high spots, low spots, and they're in a bad spot. Their financials are not looking good, and the product is, in my honest opinion, awful. And 1 million Americans have agreed with me for the last year who have decided to turn out.
They're definitely going to need, because you can't fix anything at WrestleMania. They're going to need after WrestleMania to try.
They can start though. They can give young, good talent WrestleMania victories. Victories are a big deal.
They can.
But here's the problem. Between Rumble and Fastlane, they didn't pull a 4. If between Fastlane and Mania they don't pull a 4, that's not good at all. That's really bad. That would be the first time in history that they didn't do that. So it would we're past the point of 25-year lows. We're past the point of historic lows right now. So it's
and if they don't pull a 4 during the build to Mania, the final build to Mania, what do you think they're going to pull on the Raw after Mania?
Probably what the Go Home show does. That's usually what it does.
Right. Are you going to watch the Raw after Mania, or are you
the Raw after Mania? I will watch. I will pirate.
All right.
I have the means to watch it legally, but I will pirate it just to stick it to them.
Yeah, screw you, WWE.
But here's the real question: if they don't pull a 4 in the build to Mania, what are they pulling in the build to Battlegrounds? That's my question. I'm wondering what that does. What are they pulling in the build to Night of Champions? What are they building to the build of the free Survivor Series if they do it again this year?
What are they doing to the build of SummerSlam?
What are they building to
the build of next WrestleMania?
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. What are they doing to?
It's not good.
It's a disaster.
It's not looking good.
It's going really badly.
They can fix it. It's going to take a year to fix it. I think it's going to take a year for them to fully fix it. A year of good, consistent, solid booking, everything making sense.
It's getting to the point where they might not be able to. There is a certain level of brand tarnishment that
they're not TNA levels
yet. They're almost there. they're almost there. If they start not paying people, they're pretty much there. That's all they need to do.
But here's the thing. What if WWE were to die? What if there was no WWE? What happened?
Then 1 million people would stop watching wrestling and 2 million people would filter out to the other shows. And the industry would be better for it. I completely believe that. I legitimately believe that 1/3 of the audience of Raw would stop watching wrestling altogether. The other 2/3 would start watching. USA would pick up another wrestling show because WWE does good business for them. It'd probably be TNA if they're still alive. God hope they're not. But if they are still alive, then it'll probably be TNA. TNA would start getting 2s, maybe 2.5s. Eventually, they'd be WWE, and we'd be in the situation we are now, except with TNA. And maybe some talent would go abroad.
And if it's not TNA, is it Ring of Honor?
If it's Ring of Honor, yeah. And they go a little bit more mainstream. Pick up some bigger stars. I think I'd rather have Delirious in charge than Vince, but I'm not sure it's that much better.
I mean, wait, could it be Lucha Underground?
No, it could never be Lucha Underground because of the costs involved.
Yeah,
and also USA need a product that they can put out every week, and Lucha Underground is not that product.
Yeah,
but maybe something that manages to capture the Lucha Underground spirit. And here's my thing. I think Lucha Underground shows us this. More than just that good production values in professional wrestling is a big deal. It also shows us that seasonal professional wrestling is something people are interested in and is a good idea.
Yeah.
Because one of the things, but the problem is what sells professional wrestling right now is that it is a weekly product that you can put ads on. So what are you going to do if it's not a weekly product? That's why LU getting on Netflix is a requirement. They need to get on that because it opens the doors for other wrestling companies to get seasonal shows put on streaming services, because there's no way those seasonal shows are making it onto cable TV, because they just can't do it unless they put out 52 shows a year. And so that's why we need wrestling to like break onto the over-the-top streaming service. So, like that's the big turning point. Like if you're looking for like business turning points over the next year, WWE not drawing a 4 in the Build to Mania, that's a big turning point.
Definitely.
LU getting, if it happens, LU getting on Netflix, if it happens, big turning point.
Of course.
NXT running Tokyo Dome, if it happens, big turning point.
Because now not only does LU become available to millions, and I mean millions of people worldwide, that's all it really becomes available to millions of people worldwide, because it doesn't need anything else and more exposure, really.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's all it needs as well. But again, it's wrapping up soon. To me, LU, I love it. I think it's a really good product. But to me, it's more than just a good product. I think it's what is in the future. Like there's so like we could do like a seasonal thing with different styles and different stories where it's just a TV show about wrestlers. LU doesn't have money problems. It's just expensive. It's not like the producers are like, oh my god, why are we losing so much money? Robert Rodriguez knows as soon as he walked in, this is going to lose me money. I'm doing it because I love it. Like there's no money problems at LU.
And here's the thing, being on Netflix won't solve that problem.
No. Well, it might bring them even.
It might, but it won't make them money.
No, they don't need to.
They don't. Because they have AAA backing them, right?
Technically, no, they do have AAA backing them. But what makes it so that they don't need to make money is that they make El Rey a ton of money, and and Robert Rodriguez is a huge mark. I'm sorry, but he is. He runs the show, and he's a mark, and he loves it, and I love him for it.
Yeah.
And it's great that he is. But that's the reason.
But if LU wants to get making money, then they're gonna have to lower their production value, which will do a lot of damage.
I disagree. I disagree. I disagree. I think they can because there's one thing is that El Rey makes a lot more money now because of the exposure, and if the Netflix deal goes through, more exposure for them and possibly El Rey. Plus Netflix pays good money. I think they could probably bring it even. And if you've done a show that's broke even and now millions of people know about El Rey that didn't beforehand, that's a good business venture.
Yeah.
But like I said, in terms of the business model of LU, well, I think LU is probably never going to make a ton of money. I think the business model can. You can do high production value, 1 season, 12 episodes, put it on Netflix, make money. I think there's a way to do it. 24 episodes even, whatever seasonal format you want to do. I think there's ways to make money. And that's great. And I see it, and I'm not a businessman, but I have been around numbers for a lot of my life, and I think that that's a way you can do it. So there's that, and also there's obviously New Japan trying to branch out internationally, even though they're doing pretty poorly domestically. And NXT, which I don't know how to analyze NXT from a business perspective, because it's doing really well money-wise for its size. If you take WWE out of the NXT equation, it's doing really fucking well. But when you add WWE in, it's like, okay, so what is NXT? And it's very difficult to answer that question. Pro wrestling, I'm really excited for, but the WWE is in one of the worst spots it's been since I've been watching it. It's not good. It's really not, and it's this interesting like crossroads where you had 3 guys ready to push as your next generation, and you picked one, and you kind of just pissed on the other 2, and then you picked failed.
You gave Seth the time, but you just gave him too much time.
You also made him lose a lot. That would be the big thing. Yes. Didn't book him properly. I don't think the 9-month heel title reigns are fine, but you didn't book him like Edge. You didn't book him like JBL. You booked him like Seth Rollins.
Yeah, no one wants to be booked like Seth Rollins.
Not anymore. You made a new category for it.
Yep.
Like literally the worst year for ratings in 25. It's been a very long time since they've had that part of a year. So like they pissed on Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins is the guy who beat Dean Ambrose a lot. So where's Dean Ambrose if Seth Rollins is that low? And then they picked Roman and he failed. And that's literally the reason why they're here, is that they picked Roman, they chose not to build the other two, and Roman, like, for whether it was him or Vince or anyone who booked, I don't blame the person, I blame the character or the presentation of the character. It's done. It's done. So
honestly, here's what I'd like. If WWE doesn't pull 4 in the build to Mania, maybe give Triple H the reins for a month and see how everything goes.
There's a lot of talk
on control of WWE.
There's a lot of talk in the graps. He's got a lot of he's doing a lot of the booking now anyway.
There is, but I don't. But I look at NXT and I see how
Ryan Ward.
Yeah, but if Triple H gets that, then he's bringing Ryan Ward up and putting him more influence. Yeah. Like, because Triple H has full control over NXT, from what I know.
He's the Vince of NXT. Like he doesn't book everything, but the final say.
Yeah. And with that, if he obviously trusts the guys down in NXT. If he trusts them, then he's gonna bring them up, listen to them, and listen to the guys that he trusts in WWE currently, and then that'll be the final product. And I think it'll be better than what's going on right now.
I would be interested. I think what would happen if Triple H got full control, brought up all his NXT stuff, is what would happen is WWE pay-per-views would become some of the best professional wrestling on the planet. That TV show isn't getting better because NXT last year I think was a big eye-opener that Triple H makes mistakes too, and he made a big mistake with some products.
But it's better than what's going on.
I agree, because I think SummerSlam, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, and Royal Rumble, if that's what he chooses to focus on, would be some of the best wrestling on the planet, because I think he'd put on supercards, because he loves supercards. I think he's literally a mark for supercards. I think he only signs people from other countries so he can be like, this card has so many nationalities on it. I think he looks at his card and he's like, look, there's a Spanish guy, and there's that handsome motherfucker, and then there's a Japanese guy, and there's a Japanese girl, and there's an Australian chick, and then there's a Canadian dude.
There's an Irish guy on here.
Yeah, there's Irish dudes. There's an Irish girl.
We got the Samoan in here, so Vince is happy.
Cousin. We got her over. We got Snoop Dogg's cousin over. Can you believe it?
Honestly, you probably could have built her a Snoop Dogg's cousin and be like, well, she's over now.
I think we should probably wrap it up. So, overall impressions of tonight, I'm still really excited about pro wrestling, as was my previous 2 podcast conclusions, but the WWE is hot garbo, and the financials are backing it up on that.
Garbage. What the New Day.
Yeah, so, and the financials backing me up on this one, so
yeah. They definitely need it. They definitely need a change. It won't happen at WrestleMania. Well, it could start at WrestleMania, but it won't happen until WrestleMania.
I tell you what, one thing that excites me is I think the failure of WWE may, in the long term, show that people are actually finally looking for an alternative, not just like the entertainment focused bullshit. I think people are starting to realize that stories can be told just as well physically, and sometimes the masterpieces.
I definitely think if WWE goes down, ROH steps up, brings up its mainstream product, and goes full balls to the wall and push of becoming this big national promotion.
And that's the bottom line, because Ben Ditch said so. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah!
If you did, please.
Ben.
I noticed there are a couple of new people in the stream tonight, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. I do these podcasts on an irregular basis. There's also, me and Ben both do series and videos on a wrestling booking simulator, where we book things sometimes in fictional universes that are a lot better than what you watched tonight. So thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys next time for
I made up.
for the 44th annual Sunday podcast. Peace soup. Final rating on the show.